Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the weekly Steelchair, where it's just me. It's just me, but hey ho, that's how it goes. This is your Bound for Glory preview show for tonight. Yes, we have a lot to get through, so I hope everyone is well. Hope you're all having a good Saturday. This show is live tonight. You can get on Fight TV. It starts at 1 a.m. I'll be watching it. Obviously, if you are watching this show, please do like, share, and subscribe. It's just because obviously I'm the Impact fan, so it's not really going to work elsewhere. If there's nobody else, so it's got to be me. It's got to be me. How is everyone doing tonight? Let me know. Get your comments in. Tell me how you guys are doing. I've left a welcome message for everybody as well, so hope everyone enjoys it, and let me know what you think about the show, and we may as well get cracking, eh? So I have all the matches as a banner, no particular order, because who knows how the show's actually going to go tonight, except, well, the main event. So we are going to run through that. So I have them all here. 8-match card. No matches on a preview show, which is perfect because we don't need one. So the whole card is going to run as so. So I'd say it's about a 3.5 hour pay-per-view, which is how it should be. 3.5 hours is fine. But this is the big show. This is Impact's biggest show of the year. This is Bound for Glory. Number 18. This is going to be Bound for Glory 18. So let's hope it's a good one because they deserve another great show. It's been a great year for Impact so far. The reuniting of the partnership with New Japan spread across with Multiverse United. We've had 2 of them this year. The AAA crossover show is next month. Returning to the UK starts next week. Like, production costs have went up for upgrading on the show. Like, there's been so much investment in Impact that you can see that they're taking it seriously from Anthem. But we need to see bigger arenas, and I think tonight's a good start because Cicero Stadium is a 6,000 capacity stadium. This is good, at least. I know it's 6,000. It's not as big as like an AEW or WWE, but it's still important to have that number of crowd for your biggest show, and you build on it, especially when you've got hardcore fans who will show and invest. So it's just a matter of what are we going to get from tonight's show. I mean, it is in Chicago. Could be a very shock return to the organization. So let's just get on with it. And speaking of returns, the first match we're going to discuss is the returning Will Ospreay, the self-proclaimed best wrestler in the world, versus Impact's own speedball Mike Bailey. Not going to lie, I think this is going to be your match of the night. If this is the opener, it's already going to set the bar. It's that good. This is a man who's went across the whole year beating the likes of Kenny Omega. He's beaten Chris Jericho. He's beaten Kazuchika Okada, one of my favorites. Like, there's generally no limit to Will Ospreay right now. He's just went and wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. at Royal Quest in London, literally last weekend. This guy's ready to go. He's ready to take on another great from Impact. It's first of his 3 recognised matches with Impact over the next month, because we don't know how long he's going to be with the organisation. There's potentially he could stay longer. Fingers crossed for me. I hope he does. And I'm eager to see how this goes. But Speedball as well is a very diverse wrestler. He's had some great matches this year as well. I mean, Tanahashi for one. He done the triple threat over recently in Japan with... He recently did the triple threat, obviously, in Japan for the championship, which is even better. The question is, what are we going to get? Are we going to get high flying? Yes. Are we going to get a technical bout? Yes, because Will Ospreay is more technical than anything else now, but also Speedball is very diverse with his martial arts. So I'm expecting it to be one of those matches that is fast paced, maybe about 20 minutes, give or take. I think it can get longer because it's on pay-per-view. But when you look at the matches that are to follow, because it's not a title match, it doesn't necessarily need a lot of time. But because Will Ospreay's coming back to the organization and you want to try and tempt him to stay, you need to give him 20, 25 minutes, in my opinion. Or you just give him that good enough opponent that it'll tempt him, and you've given him Speedball, who is one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet, and one of the best Canadian wrestlers as well. Shout out to Canada. Canada, some great wrestlers. Speedball has had a fantastic year as well. He's got GLW coming up as well, so he's well diverse organization-wise. He is, of course, Impact through and through. Will Ospreay is returning to Impact for the first time since 2017 during the Global Force era. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. But it's still, the fact is, like, since then he's no longer that high-flying daredevil. He still does those daredevil moves, but he's more that all-round base that makes him the best, or the contention to be the best wrestler in the world. And if he beats Speedball tonight, it adds to the list. I mean, we're going to come into one match later on tonight, which is the main event. One half of that main event is scheduled to face Ospreay tomorrow. And if results go in favour of that, tomorrow it could be Will Ospreay in a title match in just his second match back in Impact for the first time in 6 years. That, to me, screams intrigue. It screams numbers. It screams fanfare. And it will bring fans back in that they may have lost over time. But I'm genuinely excited to see how this one goes, because there's no title on the line. That includes the IWGP UK Heavyweight Championship that Will Ospreay currently owns, because obviously he's the current champion. He currently wears that title. I don't expect it to be an absolute whitewash where Ospreay squashes him, but I am expecting Stormbreaker after about 20 minutes, like say 17, 20-minute match. I'm expecting that, so I'm going to go Will Ospreay to win the dream return match, and that's not a bad thing for Speedball. It'll just add to him. He'll still get elevated even by defeat. He'll get a match that fits in style for style, height, weight. It's perfect. It fits what they're looking for. It fits what he's looking for, and it's a different opponent from Joshua Gresham and all that all the time. It's different from Gresham. It's totally new. That's what we want. And it gives Speedball a chance to say, right, I'm going to that next level. Ospreay, of course, he will have his eyes on what's to come. He's at Turning Point in Leicester or something like that. He is at Turning Point, which isn't it's very, very close. He isn't scheduled for Glasgow, unfortunately, which is next week, which I'm at. But it's a shame because I would have enjoyed that. But still, it's great to see that he is back in Impact, and it's great that Speedball is getting the chance to go up against him as well. It could have been anyone. It could have been Josh Alexander, but it's not. He gets the match tomorrow at Beyond Impact in the Bound for Glory after show. I'm really looking forward to that. Sorry, everyone's just going off for me at the moment. I'm just responding. There we go. So that's the first one. So again, my prediction, Will Ospreay to beat Speedball by pinfall, because nothing else is going to change. Match number 2, the signature division of Impact. And if you can tell, Bullet Club, you can guess who's coming up. Yeah, it's record 10-time X Division champion Chris Sabin defending his title versus GTS Club, which is, of course, the Bullet Club member Kenta. First of all, what a massive coup. Now, when you look at this is 2 veterans. Chris Sabin is an original of the organization. He was there in the very first episode of Impact back in June 2004. Kenta, of course, is an amazing international star and one of the best in Japan. He's been coming down, obviously, through age. Like, obviously, he's not had an amazing past couple of years, but this year he's had some really effective matches, and it's been better ever since. Funnily enough, he was at Multiverse, the first one, 6 months ago. He was there 6 months ago, and he had a fantastic match against Minoru Suzuki, another veteran. He's also faced Kushida as well, Multiverse. Now we're getting Kenta back with Impact for the third time, post the match at the G1 versus Will Ospreay as well, who I've just mentioned. Kenta's now coming for the championship. Do I expect Kenta to win this? Come on, let's be real. No. He's not. However, there is still possibility of Kenta doing more with Impact. So there is actually that chance of, hold on, we might get more. This whole show is being billed as, is this the end of the Guns era? Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, who are both the main champions of the signature men's divisions for singles in Impact, the X Division, and the World Championships, is being billed as, is this the end of the Guns era? I'm inclined to say no. However, if you're looking at jeopardy, Kenta will hurt Sabin, but Sabin's got a very fantastic offense. Shell Shock for one, his signature hold. Signature maneuver. He does have a few submissions of his own, which are really impressive. But like, you look at Time Machine, obviously Kushida's not on the card, but he's still got that Paradise Lock. He's still got like even Sabin himself. Like, if he goes through Shelley, which is that, what are we gonna get? I reckon just because of the match itself, the X Division is all about fast, free-flowing matches and that technical work. This is going to go 15 minutes. This will be a 15-minute match. But it's good to see Kenta back in where he's heavy-hitting, he's fast. He has the GTS, obviously it's in Chicago, the hometown of another famous pro wrestler who, funnily enough, is no longer signed to like an organization that Kenta has associated with recently in AEW. That man being CM Punk, who's a free agent, could potentially be at Bound for Glory, especially because his friend Ace Steel is now finally in that producer role as a trial run. Initially, he was going to be there before AEW called him. Ace Steel is working as a trial basis as a producer for the show, so he will be there. Likely, this could be an opportunity to set up Kenta versus CM Punk as well, if Punk is actually there. If not, then it's fine. But we're still going to get Sabin versus Kenta. And on this one, I'm going original over featured superstar. I'm going to go Chris Sabin retains his title I'm going to go by pinfall again, because it's just the fact is, like, are you really going to have that title change hands? Unlikely. I mean, especially when you look at what's following. Like, there's a couple of matches that do have impact and resonance. It's not going to have much of a impact on this one, but we could see, crazily enough, if it goes well, we could see a title change, but under different circumstances. And that's what I'm going to potentially call right now. So, Sabin to retain. Excuse me. Your third match is the first of 3 matches involving women tonight. Actually, yeah, 3, sorry. Yeah, I was just double checking. Yeah, 3. Your Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Championship match, MK Ultra, which is the best women's team right now in Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich, defending champions, versus Deonna Purrazzo and Tasha Steelz. There's big ramifications for this one beside titles. First of all, Deonna Purrazzo is actually due to leave Impact very soon. Her contract actually expires after this event. So unless she comes to terms on a new contract, the three-time world champion could end up leaving for nothing, and it'd be a big loss to the organization who have been with her for the past couple of years, especially after she was let go by WWE. If she goes to AEW, I've got nothing against that, because she would walk in and be top 3 in their organization by a mile. Like her, Toni Storm, and Jamie Hayter are they're the best 2. She walks in, there's your third best already. One of my personal favorites. But when you look at it from a smart perspective, you put the title on her, it gives her that extra like initiative to not leave, especially because she's teaming with Tasha, who is a very exciting, hard-hitting fighter. More or less of like the brawler than the technical work, whereas Deonna is the balance. She's all round. This is one I'm actually very excited for, especially because Killer Kelly and Masha, their dynamic as a team since they stopped feuding with each other. They were feuding with each other. Killer Kelly gets ambushed. Masha comes out, gets involved. They've become a team ever since. They win the tag titles against the Coven, Kylan King, and former Impact World Champion, Knockout World Champion in Taylor Wilde. They've been champions ever since. Is it wrong to put the titles on Deonna if she's leaving? Yes. However, if they were to announce after the show she's re-signed her contract and she's re-signed with Impact, then it makes sense. If she hasn't re-signed, even though she'll be in Glasgow, and I will see her, she's confirmed for the Glasgow show, it really doesn't help when you're going to go out on that high, but you're not in the company anymore. And I would hate to see talent like that go, but obviously talent come and go. That's how the industry works. I personally want to see her stay and help continuously to elevate the division that's already, in my opinion, the best women's division in professional wrestling anyway. People are going to say Stardom, and I don't disagree with that. I think Stardom is amazing. I think WWE has a good women's division. I think AEW has a good women's division, but when you look at how they're used and where they're positioned on the show and the card and how much time they're given, doesn't compare to Impact, and it never has, because Impact is so far ahead. This is a division that's been around since 2007, and it's still going. Its main event shows it's had some of the most extreme matches because they have confidence in their women, because they're proper wrestlers, they're proper athletes. That's the level that you get from here. And I'm talking about the first division in 2007 had Gail Kim become the first champion of Bound for Glory. Funnily enough, you had Tracy Brooks in that match, the original Knockout, who will be inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight. Congratulations. She'll be inducted by Gail Kim. You had Velvet Sky, Angelina Love. You had Jacqueline as Miss Jackie Moore. You had Awesome Kong. Horrifying presence, but brilliant. You had Christy Hemme as well. That was the original division, the gauntlet for the first title back in 2007. Since then, you've had former WWE legend in Victoria, who was Tara. You had Madison Rayne, women's legend, Mickie James, who we'll be talking about later. You've had, funnily enough, you've had Lacey Von Erich, who's more of like the eye candy stuff, but again, wrestling royalty. And now you've got the likes of Deonna, you've got Giselle Shaw, you've got Jordan Grace, Taylor Wilde, who I mentioned before. She was there a decade and a half ago. She's here now still because she loves the division. ODB. It's mad what this division's had over the years, and it's still growing. And now you've got, and Trini as well. You've got on this show fantastic women who are serious about pro wrestling in these matches, and they're given time and they're given that trust because they've worked for it. And those are just names I've mentioned, but there's so many that deserve plaudit and respect, and I will never take it away from them. Like women like Raka Khan, even though she's controversial, still up there, but she was there for different reasons. Like another one, like you've had Raisha Saeed, like it's crazy. Even Zelina Vega was there years ago. Like that's heritage of wrestling. That's where it's come and gone. So to have the Knockouts tag team titles defended between an elite tag team and a tag team of elite individuals who've come together and actually have good chemistry equals a great match. Now this one, I think if Deonna hasn't re-signed, then ideally it's Deonna who should take the pin here. She should either take the pin from Masha or Killer Kelly. But if Deonna has re-signed, then I have got nothing against them winning it, but I'm still going championship retention. I'm going to go MK Ultra, get the pin here. So champions retain on match number 3. Match number 4. Impact World Tag Team Championships for the men. So this is the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Vance defending against ABC Club, Bullet Club members, Ace Austin and Chris Bay. This is a match that, funnily enough, the Rascals have been ducking for months. Chris Bay won the Feast or Fired briefcase for the tag team title shot last month. He won that on Impact 1000. He's cashed in with Ace Austin. They get their title match tonight, their decisive match for the titles. And I love the ABC Club. They've had a fantastic year. The matches, particular at Multiverse, again, I reiterate, which was a fatal four-way tag team for the titles. They had matches against Motorcycle Machine Guns, beat them in an Ultimate X tag team match. The first match they ever lost as a team. Like that standard. Obviously, they then lost their like controversial fashion in another multi-tag team match. The Rascals got involved, costing the titles. The Rascals since regained the titles and spray painted the titles to face them, coloured them green. It would be monumental for the Rascals to retain their titles here. But considering this is the last shot for Ace Austin and Chris Bay, and it would be the 3rd title reign for them, they are on a high. It's their last chance. They're not going to split as a team. I'm going title change on this one. I think this could be an exciting match. I'm really looking forward to it. But on the basis of it, I'm going title change. I'm going ABC to win this one. Match number 5 is the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. And this is 20 persons, intergender. Call Your Shot Gauntlet is so it's 20 people in the ring all at once. The pinfall and submission included. Winner gets to challenge for any championship they want up to the space of a year. And the reason it's intergender is because Jordan Grace is actually participating in this match, which is the only way she's really going to get a world title match when you think about it. In terms of participants, Bully Ray's in this match, Eric Young's in this match. I'm pretty sure Eddie Edwards is also in this one. But for me, the winner, just because he's been on a massive high, especially that match at Emergence against IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Sonata, I think the winner here is going to be Jake something. But I am going to get the full list for everybody anyway. because it's only fair. It's only fair that I get every participant included, because again, 20 matches, we want to get what we want. We need to get. There's going to be some like surprises as well. There's always unexpected or if I can just get the what I'm looking for. Give me the names, come on. Obviously as well, because there's a special luchador event coming up as well, which is a celebration for the for luchadors across the world. The likes of Conan and Juvito Guerrero are actually at the show. They've been spotted in Chicago. They're going to be there, which, not going to lie, I think absolutely fantastic. Juvito is one of my favorite masked men, like, of all time. He should never have been unmasked by fucking Eric Bischoff. Stupid ass. Yep, so yeah, so because we've partnered with New Japan, there's plenty in there. I just want to get the names. Just give me the names, please. It would help if they actually told me who was in this one, because they're not giving me who's in it. I might be able to get it, funnily enough. I might be able to get it from Twitter. 1 second. I'm sorry, everybody. I want this to work. I hope everyone is doing well, though. I hope everyone's doing okay. Right. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, so those that are mentioned, there could be a surprise, by the way, of Simon Miller, because obviously he will go up against Joe Hendry at Turning Point. So some of the names participated, obviously I mentioned Eric Young, Bully Ray, Jake Something, Jordan Grace, Kazarian, Kylan King, Kenny King, Joe Brett, Giselle Shaw, Eddie Edwards, Dirty Dangle, who's number 20. They will be confirmed for this. Not gonna lie, if Eddie Edwards even turns babyface in this match, it would be absolutely brilliant. Even Kazarian gets his world title match, because it's been a while. The opportunities streak far and thin for this one, but where they're going to go, I hope Jake Something wins this one. I've been really impressed with his work since he's returned, which was fun during it was at Slammiversary in the Ultimate X match when he returned, and I did not expect that at all. I didn't see that coming, which honestly was fantastic, because I've been a fan of Jake Something for so long. This is definitely his night, and I'm hoping he gets a positive result for that one. So yeah, call your shot. 20-person intergender, Jake Something. Magique. Gracias. Grazie. Okay. Your next match, ladies and gentlemen. So we've done Osprey versus Speedball. We've done Sabin versus Kenta. We've done the Knockouts Tag Team titles, the Impact World Tag Team titles for the men. Call your gauntlet match. Call your shot gauntlet match. Now, Impact Tradition. Monsters Ball. Fatal 4-way. PCO, whose contract has expired. Well, expiring. He will be leaving very shortly. Rhino, who was in the Monsters Ball at the first Bound for Glory back in 2005. On the fact he's going to do it on the 19th show, Bound for Glory. Tonight's number 19. Steve Maclin, another former world champion, and Moose, who was also world champion. 3 of these men have won the world title in TNA. Rhino, Maclin, Moose. PCO, nah. Frankenstein hasn't won anything. And it's going to stay that way. He'll be joining Sami Callihan soon on the way out. Personally, I think Callihan leaving was right. He had to go and express himself somewhere else. That's not saying he was bad. It was just time to move on. PCO as well. It's time to move on so we can get more younger talent elevated and on the roster that are there for the duration, that are going to add more to the division. Therefore, he's the one that should take the pin. Per tradition of the Monsters Ball, they are trapped for 24 hours. They're locked away. No food, no drink. It's kayfabe, man. And then we let them loose. Monsters Ball. Falls Count Anywhere. No holds barred. If you're not a fan of extreme weapons involved, don't watch this one. If you like that sort of stuff, this one will fit your bill. These are 4 big powerhouses. The right choice for this one is the one who I do think is going to win. But when you look at all round, Moose wants to be world champion again. Rhino isn't going to be champion again. PCO's on the way out. This is Maclin's chance to get himself back into the world title hunt, because obviously he lost it. I'm going to go with Maclin here. Maclin gets the result over PCO. And Moose gets cut in half with a gore. That's what I'm going with. So yeah, Steve Maclin wins Monsters Ball. Now. The first of 2 main championships for men and women. They're both dream matches for me personally. The Impact Knockouts World Championship is Champion Trinity. If you're a WWE fan, that's Naomi versus... She needs no introduction, really, let's be honest, but she's one of the best of all time, Mickie James. Both title matches have one thing in common tonight. The challengers are champions that were forced to relinquish due to injury. Mickie James, similar situation with Alexander. Alexander was on a record-breaking run. I'll come to that soon. But the added effect of the fact is Mickie James was going through the last rodeo. Obviously being a hardcore, like hardcore country girl, her last rodeo for her was like the last big run. I saw her when I was in London a couple of months ago. Everyone can remember that. I saw her live at Rev Pro. She was in the triple threat for the women's title. She didn't take the pin, but she didn't win that match either. But it felt great to see her live, and I'll get to see her live next week as well. Trinity, of course, won the title from Deonna at Slammiversary. She's been champion ever since. She's done a very good job. She was champion, obviously, during the Impact 1000 episode, where she was in the 10 women tag team main event, which included a 30-minute segment as well. Like, for women, that's impressive. Especially when you need to give the opportunities, and there's still opportunities there. They had a 30-minute full segment, all the women involved. The end of the match, obviously, we had Trinity standing side by side with Mickie James, and Mickie James is looking at the title. Funnily enough, I tell she never lost. She wants it back. The seeds have been set. They've been in tag matches with each other ever since, but then the match got announced. Mickie James challenged Trinity on Impact. Trinity accepted. For the first time ever, we have Trinity versus Mickie James for the Knockouts Championship. And not gonna lie, this is going to be hard to call. One, because Mickie James is a legend. She didn't lose the title. But again, does she need another title reign? No. Is Trinity's reign worth ending at the moment? No. Could we get something like a potential like interference in this one? Or the call your shot? Because by names as well, Jordan Grace, Giselle Shaw, Kylan King, they're all in this match. They can at any time cash in that opportunity if they were to win the gauntlet. They could make this a triple threat, or they could, after the match is over, they could just call in, take the title from whoever wins. Personally, I would like to see that. That would be really cool. But I think you could see that during the. I think you could see it during the main event as well. If Jake Something wins, but I think Jake Something's more of an honourable, where he'll come out after the champions retained or won or new champions crowned, and he just says, this is when it's coming. I think we could see that, but for the first time ever dream match, I'm just so excited regardless who wins. Like I personally I don't care who wins this one. Just like the world title main event, I don't care. I'm just so excited. But gotta keep the element of prediction, don't I? I'm going Trinity to retain. I think Trinity will retain, but then she'll lose the title either at Hard to Kill or she'll lose it in the new year. But there's just opportunities arising for Trinity, considering the fact that Killer Kelly's still on the loose. She could come for a singles run. Masha could come for a singles run. If Deonna resigns, she might want the title for the fourth time. Like there's a lot there on opportunity. Jordan Grace as well, third title reign she would want. Mickie James obviously would go for title number 11, I'm pretty sure. 11th title reign. Like, it's 11th title reign, but it would be her 6th knockouts title. In terms of accomplishments, Mickie James would be right up there in terms of success for Impact. She's a 5-time champion for them. Yeah, 11-time champion. So if she wins it tonight, that'll be her 12th. It would be her 12th title she wins tonight. And it would be her 6th knockouts title, and she'd be one behind. She'd be one title behind the likes of Gail Kim and Angelina Love, which would be absolutely peak. There's no greater height. Now, she was in TNA 20 years ago, and I remember the segment she did. It was amazing. Again, though, there was one moment where, of course, where she got burnt with a fireball during a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match when she was part of Raven's stable, The Gathering. That was cold, but that was just stuff that I loved about Mickie James in her early years before she went to WWE. And also she came back to Impact, went back to WWE, came back to Impact. She's been with Impact ever since. And she's had 2 title reigns since returning in a couple of years ago. It's just great to see her still going. Like, she's just so good. And she's a veteran, but she's also takes care of herself well, so her matches can go distance because she's taking care of herself. Psychology is perfect. Her moveset's more adaptable than what it was, so she can do less risk, more heavy hitting groundwork. And that's what I want to see. So I'm going to go Trinity to win. And I think we might, if the likes of Jordan or Giselle win the gauntlet, which I don't think they will, but if either of those win it, they'll come out post-match and challenge Trinity for the title Hard to Kill. And your main event before we open up to the live comments because get some chat, get your comments in, guys. Come on, get some comments in, get some questions in as well. Your main event is Motor City Machine Gun and Impact veteran and legend himself, Alex Shelley, defending his World Championship versus former champion, record championship reign of Josh Alexander, who never lost the title. He fought again. He relinquished it due to injury. Injured his arm. He was out for several months, so obviously he had to relinquish his title. He gets the main event of Bound for Glory for the title he never lost. And not gonna lie, he is the Kurt Angle regen that everybody wanted. Now, he's not bang on Kurt Angle, but he is that Kurt Angle look. He's that intense version of Angle when Angle was Perk Angle. Josh Alexander is so fucking intense, but he's a brilliant mat wrestler. Brilliant technician, brawling beyond what I've seen. He's one of my favorites to watch. He's got an amazing butterfly pile driver that he does. He does the ankle lock. Really wrenches it as well, because his frame, he's a very big man, very big man. Obviously, he had his match last month at Emergence against Steve Maclin, who was involved when he got injured. It would have been Maclin versus. It was going to be Maclin, fun enough, versus Josh Alexander for the title. We didn't get that. Instead, we got Maclin versus Kushida, and Maclin won the vacant title, and then he dropped it to Alex Shelley, and Shelley's been champion ever since. And then Shelley, obviously, has one of his big title defenses was Nick Aldis, who's now in WWE as SmackDown General Manager. That was a big match for him where he was dominated a lot by Nick Aldis. So the champion can be got at, he can be beaten, but he held on. They've just recently competed in Japan. Road to Destruction. They faced Chaos, which is, of course, the absolute peak Stone Pitbull himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi, who has faced Alex Shelley. They faced in Multiverse for the world title. Shelley beat Tanahashi, and one of my personal favorites I've already mentioned tonight, Kazuchika Okada, who has said he could return to Impact soon. Fingers crossed he's actually at the show. If he's there, that would be amazing, just to see Shelley or Alexander versus the Rainmaker, even for the title, would be fantastic. But again, on Impact 1000, post his match Alexander versus Trey Miguel, Alexander challenged Shelley to the match for the Impact World Championship. It was accepted. Since then, Shelley has dropped Alexander on his head several times. So it makes me wonder how this is going to go. And when they were in Japan, Tanahashi pinned Shelley, but it was that stare down between Motor City Machine Gun members of Sabin and Shelley with Alexander staring down as Team TNA. They stared down. That gives me, are we going to get a Sabin heel turn as well at Bound for Glory? Now, I asked the question earlier on. Is this the end of the Guns era? Josh Alexander never lost this title, but he's had a great record at Bound for Glory. He's lost one match, but he's won the rest. He's now headlining a I think it's his fifth straight pay-per-view, or Bound for Glory. 5 years running, he's headlining. But he's had matches against Eddie Edwards, Christian Cage, Moose. He's had those guys. Now he's got the veteran, the legend of the organization, who's been there since the first episode of the weekly shows. He's there. Are we going to get a title change? Me personally, I would love to see Josh Alexander become champion again. I would. But I think he is going to retain, which means on the Beyond the Impact Bound for Glory show, which is tomorrow, we're going to see. What's up, James? Good to see you, fella. Tomorrow on the the post Bound for Glory show, we have 2 amazing matches booked. Shelley versus Gresham for the world title. Josh Alexander versus Will Ospreay. Winner of those matches will defend their title against Gresham or Alexander. To give Ospreay a title match, second match in, is questionable. Yeah, I don't think it's over yet. I would like to see the Machine Guns turn heel. It's been a while since they've turned heel. I think they're already plotting the season, especially when he dropped him on his head quite recently. I think that's what they're alluding to, and I think against Alexander, who is such a fan favorite, and Shelley as well as a fan favorite, it's easy to turn. I don't think you're going to turn Josh Alexander into a perk heel Alexander, but he easily could as well. I think it'll be Alex Shelley who turns heel, and we get a heel Machine Guns, and especially because in Glasgow, it's Motor City Machine Guns versus Alexander and Eric Young, potentially Team Canada version 2. So I wonder if that's what we get, and I can't wait to see that in Glasgow, which is next Thursday. I'm thinking we get Alexander versus Will Ospreay is non-title, which means Shelley versus Gresham for the World Championship, and Jake something, who I think will win the gauntlet, will declare, "This is it. I'm coming for the world title." There's obviously Ace Steel he's on his trial run as producer. We could see CM Punk. We could see Okada. And obviously Will Ospreay is with the company post turning point. There is a chance we could have Ospreay there longer. There are some great opportunities here for world title matches for the next several months, whether it be Josh Alexander or Alex Shelley as world champion. For me, I'm going to go championship retain, because there's no way they're going to have Josh Alexander win the title and then lose it straight away to Will Ospreay. Because if so, they've set themselves up for a major problem. You cannot have, where he's having a year where he's beating the top guys, you cannot have Will Ospreay just walk in after 2 matches and be your world champion. That's not good looking for your organization. Maybe if he stays longer, then you can put a title on him, but you don't put him on it straight away. That would be a major risk, because we don't know how committed he's going to be. But I do like the prospect of him being world champion. I do. I'm not gonna deny that. I do like that possibility. There's certainly something special there. So, just to run through my predictions again. So, Will Ospreay versus Speedball. I've gone for Will Ospreay. Get your predictions in, guys. Let me know who you've got. So, I've got Will Ospreay. I've got Sabin to retain against Kenta. MK Ultra to retain against Purrazzo and Tasha Steelz. I've gone for ABC to win the tag team titles. Call Your Shot Gauntlet, I've gone for Jake something. Monsters Ball, I've gone for Steve Maclin. Knockouts World Championship, I've gone for Trinity. And the Impact World title, I've gone for Alex Shelley. Those are my predictions for your Bound for Glory 2023 pay-per-view, which is live in 2 hours and 3 minutes. 2 hours and 3 minutes from now. And what a show it's going to be. It's going to be so good. But let me know what you guys think. If you've got any questions, like my favourite Bound for Glory match or my favourite Bound for Glory actual event, anything like that you want me to answer, feel free to ask. I've got all the time. We'll probably go for like another 10 minutes. because we've done all the matches in 50 minutes, which has been incredible. I don't need to keep so long on a preview, but obviously it's about just getting good time in for the rest of the content, the rest of the show, where we can just enjoy it and get through everything. I wanted to do that, but still, like, that's 50 minutes of. I've just went through 8 matches. Some of them a little bit detailed, maybe a little bit more I could have done, but I'm just so buzzed for this show, especially because it's in Cicero Stadium, 6,000 capacity. It's sold out. They've sold out the UK return tour. There's going to be 2 nights for Coventry because Coventry demanded more because they sold out quickly. They've got a second night. Congrats to Coventry. Glasgow's sold out, the O2 Academy. They've got Turning Point in Newcastle. That's where it is, Newcastle, Turning Point. Will Ospreay's there. Joe Hendry versus Simon Miller from What Culture, by the way. That's going to be fucking brilliant. We could see him there, funnily enough, because they said international flight was booked with a surprise there. There is some luchadors there, obviously, because of the luchador crossover show between. So Conan's there, Juventud Guerrera's there, so they could be involved in surprise matches. It's just fantastic to see that they're taking it so seriously, and I'm just so looking forward to it. So those are all my predictions. Shout out to Impact Wrestling for a great year, and in fact, I hope they do bigger arenas as well for Impact shows. But that's your show for this evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. If you're into football, by the way, World of Football podcast on YouTube. I'm doing a quiz tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. If you're into football and you want to take part, just let us know, or even get involved in the quiz show for tomorrow. I'm hosting, so it's going to be fun. But it's definitely going to be worth it in the sense it's always going to be good. And you're spot on, James. The UK has always loved TNA/Impact because Glasgow was the first show to host it as well. First show to host it. What an event it was. I can't lie. To the weekly Steelchair community, thank you so much. I'll be live throughout the week. I will be doing a review show. Just to let you know, I will do a review show on Tuesday because I'm busy on Monday. We'll do a review show on Tuesday. So if anyone wants to come on, I'll drop the link on the stream. It'll be 7 o'clock UK time on Tuesday. But until then, I just want to say to everyone, thank you so much. Get your comments in when the video ends. Get your predictions in, and I'll look through each one, and I'll respond back, and we'll see who does better, you or me. But in the meantime, enjoy Impact, bound for glory, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye for now.